Today, Noel and I get into the haters through comments and how we've learned to laugh that off. And we also talk about our exes. If they were all in a room together, what might they say? Some interesting stuff came out. Enjoy listening.
Teddy bear brown, like it brings out your
Oh,
eyes.
yeah. What's your eye color? Is it brown too?
It is brown.
Mm.
And story about that. When I was a kid, my brother went and looked at his eyes and he was like, "Oh my God, I have the longest eyelashes." And like he was really happy about it because Arab men, they have their eyelashes, mashallah. And then he looked at his eyes. He was like, "Yeah, I have light brown eyes." Then he went to my sister and he was like, "Oh, your eyes are like hazel." And then he came to mine and he was like, "Yours are just shit brown." And now every time somebody asks me my eye color, I just think shit brown. That's my eye color.
Well, I
That's what
don't
I go
I don't
for.
think they're shit. I just think they're beautiful brown.
Had many a lover lost in these eyes, so I'm okay.
Glitching. But as long as we're good with recording, so we're good. Yeah. How was that video on Instagram and the comments and like how are you feeling?
I actually stopped looking at it. I'm so used to being like attacked online for my like vulnerability or asking things that I didn't give a flying fuck. Like I was more laughing at your responses, like ready to go to war. How do you feel?
I was okay. It was just like that one comment that bothered me the most. But then after that, I saw like some more comments where I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. So this is like where it's like really challenging because I was telling my husband is because we're doing this together as partners, you and I. So like when I respond sometimes, and if I'm responding from the page, I have to like keep in mind that I am representing both of us. So I'm like, okay, Noel, but she is Muslim, don't go all out because what if like she wants to handle it in a certain way, so I have to like hold back, and that's why like that one comment I was like really petty about it, but I was just like because literally the video like you said okay, so it was you were saying in that video that, I just don't know the answer. And for that one person who's just gonna comment instead of just attacking me, if you can provide more insight on it. And that one person literally just went in and was just like going full on attack. Because like he was saying something like it's like someone who joins a club but then critique the club and saying like, oh yeah, but I'm part of the club or what something like that. I'm like, we found that person that like literally you didn't add any value to this conversation other than just like saying just hating. There's literally no value, literally nothing.
Like person one to respond ignored the very first sentence of the video. But I think he was the one that ended up apologizing. I can't find it
Mm.
now. Maybe they deleted their comment. So I went in and
You think they did? I didn't notice that. I want to
well, I
check.
don't see it. I'm looking at my desktop right now, so you let me know if you see it. But like
That
somebody
would
said, you
be
have an issue
interesting.
because you don't know the glory of God. Well, if you're an example of the glory of God, it's not really given glory, it's given stupidity. So please don't represent Allah because you're not doing a good job. Allah mentioned in the Quran that he doesn't need any type of worship, doesn't need his creatures. Ego is a human concept. Allah is far beyond our perception and understanding. No matter how smart we may be, think we may be, we
Wow.
are unable to fully understand the wise. Blah, blah, blah. But like, can you give me a scripture? Like that's what I was asking for. Like I'm not asking for your non-scholar, non-iman, Quran citing ass's opinion on God. I'm asking for scriptures and maybe a
That's
video
exactly
from a
it.
scholar who is credited. And I appreciate, like, I sound like a dickhead. Like I appreciate people taking time to like comment back, but I guess if I really wanted to learn, I'd go learn, right? Instead of blaming the commenters, whatever. I'll take accountability for.
But here's the thing, if you want to learn it, you could learn it, and then you could just pose it as a question that other people might posing the same question. And if someone has an extra insight, thank you for sharing. If you don't have another insight, then shut the fuck up.
Wait, did you find his comment or did he delete it?
No, I think he deleted it, which is
Which
fine.
is stupid because no, that's stupid because that's even more like ego problem because he said whatever, then you were like, you're that person, and I was like, hey, like I feel like you're just trying to shame me instead of answering the question. Like, could you possibly answer? And then he turned around and said, oh, I'm so sorry, sister. I didn't mean to shame you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no doubt, brother, all good. Like we had a very nice Muslim ending to that. So my question for that person is why did you delete that? Like it showed that we could like get through a disagreement and like through my core of like really questioning because of how Islam like allows me and encourages me to question. I knew that. I was armed with that. Like I know what I know, right? And then I don't know everything else. But anyway, so that was it was
He
just interesting.
probably felt ashamed of the comment afterwards because I've
Uh
checked his page and his page is the opposite of like how he acted in the comment. And I've seen a lot of people who do the same, where like they would go call someone who has just posted a video on social media fat, and then like you go to their profile, love Jesus. Like that's like the first thing up there or something. It's like you're really not acting at all like if this is such an important thing for you to have it in your bio, like such a big part of your life, like at least try. Like it's really, it takes more time for you to click on the comment, type a hateful comment, and hit send than to just scroll.
yes. Yes.
So I really have no excuse for someone who truly say that this is all their identity about is that I am a Muslim, I am a Christian, I am a God-loving acting, whatever it is. And for
Mhm.
you to make that decision to take all those, it takes you 10 seconds to get through that. It count to 10. That's how much it took your time. And you still decided to do that. There's something really, really major happening over here. It's just
Yeah. I don't know what compels people to speak out of turn. I mean, I've done it, but like I think some people make like, my sister, she's so funny. She has her own Insta I don't know if she told you about this, her own Instagram page just for commenting. I forgot what she called it, but we should shout it out. And like I love her comments. Like she's a fucking troll and she'll sit there and do that. But she doesn't weigh in on like Quran. Like, she weighs in on pop culture.
social, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, pop culture. But anyway, yeah,
yeah.
that was an
Yeah.
exciting week for comments. I was like, "Ooh, we should say things that piss people off more often."
Well, we didn't. This is what's crazy is that something I am learning through this experience this past week is that most people are scared of hearing someone ask the question that they are scared to ask themselves. So when someone hears a question that they might be thinking and just like pushing it on the side, like, I don't want to think about it, I just need to believe or whatnot, it scares them to even be in that mindset of like, yeah, why is it that way? Like they don't even want to get there. So it's just easier to just like shame that person and move on because it's just so scary. Because what does that mean about me now if I don't believe that? And then who do I become if my whole identity was that religion or that that belief or that faith, then who am I now? Because you still be an Amal. Like Amal is an incredibly great human being. That's how I perceive you. You might not be the best Muslim out there, but aside from religion, I just know your core. You're just a good human being because you are a human being. Loved one of the people, I think her name is Janine, she commented, and I loved that her insight was more that religion should add value to your life in the sense of, okay, if I pray, then I just feel better. Some other people might go do yoga, and some people might go, I don't know what other thing that, set their mindset. It should be like an added value to my life, but most people just use it as like their identity, but their day-to-day life is just extremely hurtful. Like they're just doing those comments or judging other people or doing like the haram police, like one person said to me.
No, I think you're right about the identity thing. It reminded me so much of like Palestine, right? And why so many people were afraid to question it or to ask about it because once you pull the thread of like how capitalism or like the war industry or whatever shows its ugly face in Palestine, then you have to come to terms with the rest of your American identity, like the rest of your identity as like an informed shopper, an uninformed shopper, like how our taxes are going to help. Like you have to reckon with so much other domino effect shit that you'd rather just not pull at that thread. And like I think I see that with what you're saying about the religion identity. Like if Amel pokes a hole at something that I can't answer, it's easier to get mad at Amel for asking the question than to go get information that would answer it for us both. And the thing about me is I will ask the question because I have faith in my pillars. Islam is one of my
Uh-huh.
pillars. I have faith in it. And like we said about Candace Owens, or I don't know who, but like it looks like she's the type of person who, when she gets new information, will change her mind, right? And so keep giving me information, and maybe I'll change my mind. But like I'm not going to block out the information at the risk of growing and changing as a fucking human. Get out of here. So, I'm sorry if me asking questions bothers you, but it's our right in
I mean,
Islam and humanity. Like it's our right.
yeah, and I do think it is all right. Like we talked about, think of her name, Noel, the Egyptian feminist that I told you about. Again, I keep going back to her comment about if a religious book is interpreted by human beings, then I'm allowed to ask those questions because how do I confirm that this interpretation is correct? And most religions, well, all religions, to be honest with you don't just read it and like that's it. Are going through someone to help you explain something, but how do I confirm that that explanation makes sense if I don't ask questions? So let me ask those questions. Let me doubt it. Let me second guess it. And then you should have like a strong belief in what you are preaching and what you're believing in, that you are confident that my question is not threatening to you. So you don't need to attack me. The moment you are attacking me is because you are feeling some sort of threat. If your faith is so strong at what you're believing in, then you don't have to go low in that comment back. You can just explain it. Just
Yeah.
just provide clarity.
That's why it was so easy for me to respond to that person with love. Like even the prophet, the stories of the prophet, peace be upon him. Like I know even when he was supposed to share, like telling somebody they're doing something wrong, it was like a story that I heard during like the Ramadan series, and like the Imam told the story. Hopefully I don't butcher it, but this is how I remember it. Like the prophet noticed somebody was like doing wudu, like washing for prayer, the wrong way. And so instead of going up to him and saying like, you're washing the wrong way, I think he went next to him, or he told someone else to go next to him and do it the right way in front of him, so that way you're teaching the person without shaming them. You're literally leading by example.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's how I remember that story. I might have messed it up a little bit, but like I got the message. Like, don't shame people when you educate them. And like that, my friend who was next to me that day that we were going over these comments pulled up like a video from one of the famous sheikhs or imams. I forgot the name right now, but it was like a video, and he was saying it was like about the same Sayyidina Muhammad, and saying like there was a literal scripture he pulled out that like at one time you didn't know, and that was the purpose of revelations, so that you could learn, so that you could grow. But you like it was like about like not knowing yesterday and knowing tomorrow. So how am I going to know if I don't ask the fucking questions? Like, so I'm literally walking in the path that like at least that day a scripture sent to me, which was to ask these questions. And
Mm-hmm.
if there's no hate in my heart, and I'm not saying, oh yeah, F this religion, F that religion. I haven't said that about any religion. I'm just kind of like, anyway.
And you know what? Here's the other thing that I'm thinking about to add to what you're saying. You mentioned last week that, or maybe the week before, I forgot when that was, that the answers are out there, and if I want the answer, I could seek it. But that's exactly what you're doing. You're seeking that answer. So where else? Like, okay, you can go to an actual like mosque and talk to a sheikh and like ask him straightforward. Yes, you can. Or you can use this platform too. And then if there's a sheikh or someone who runs into that video and would like to shed some more light to this, please do. Literally, you're inviting them to do that. So a lot of the comments that I saw, and you didn't see YouTube, wait to see YouTube because there's some comments on YouTube.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, make my
um,
day. Make my day.
but I mean, a lot of the comments were like, she's not really true Muslim, whatever. Or like if she is a true Muslim, she would just not even ask those questions or whatever. It's just like,
I'm so
what?
proud of you because the fact that they're not deleted, we left them up. I'm going to check them and they can say what they want. Fuck them. But, and that's the other thing when it goes back to, and I don't want to spend forever talking about religion, we need to move on. But like when it goes back to religion, the basis that I understood is only God can judge me. When it
Uh-huh.
comes to what your right is on Judgment Day, it is to forgive me or not forgive me, and God will give you and only you that right. But if I have not fucking wronged you, shut your fucking mouth, because it's between me and God and everybody that I've harmed on Judgment Day. There you go. So to anybody that I've harmed, please forgive me, please, inshallah, because I really want to go to heaven. But all these other like haters from the side, I don't care. Oh no, did I freeze? So I'll look at the YouTube comments on my own time and enjoy that level of hate. We're good on that for now. Oh, it's three of these comments are from the same person, Noel. We need to thank them for their engagement.
I guess do that. I
Yeah,
guess
like
do that.
three comments. Thank you. Oh,
Yep. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Anyway, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. I don't know how many exes you've had, but if they were in a room together, what's the thing you'd least want them to compare notes on?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, okay. I have a very, very different experience with exes. I think it's because I didn't have as many boyfriends. It was mostly girlfriends,
They
exes.
count though. What would they compare
But
on?
the problem is that they would probably compare they're like, was he crazy back then because he wasn't out, and now that like he's out, it all makes sense.
La
I
la la la
wonder.
la. We're not going over what the conclusion they come to is. We're going over what they're comparing notes on. So it sounds like you were crazy.
I don't think I was the best, to be honest with you. I was just horrible, I would say.
I can't picture that. Horrible how? Do you mean like controlling? Whatever?
So, I mean, I'm just trying to recall all of them. Some of them I was good, some of them I was horrible. Like I would remember like probably like my first ex-girlfriend. That was like when I was like, I don't know, 16 to 19 or whatever. Me and my buddy, it's just horrible. I don't even know why I'm laughing. I'm just uncomfortable about it. But me and my buddy, we used to just like we both were just like dating different girls from school, and like if he breaks up with her, then I would just go break up with my girl, and then like if I break up with mine, then he would just go break up with hers, and then we just kept doing that for like 2 to 3 years or something like that. It's just like horrible. But I do owe her an apology. I don't know we ever talked about it, and back then I don't even know what was going on with me. I was just I think trying to impress him. It's
Mm.
kind of like a boy code thing, where it's just like I don't want to be just go be sitting with my girl when like all the guys are just hanging out. So I just wanted, either we're sitting as couples or like not happening at all. So that was horrible, I would say. I don't even know how to answer that question.
Wow.
Another one, I was the other like those are like two major ones. The second major one, I would say I was horrible to her. That ex, I did reach out to her and I apologized years later. But I remember back then, being in Lebanon, I was really shaming her about the way she used to dress. I really, really wanted her to dress more revealing. But then when she dressed, and then she wasn't comfortable with that, but I just kind of wanted it because it was like attractive to me or whatever. But that one time we were going to a party and then she did like end up was like, okay. Like she went like she was like dressing something like this with like a little like string in the back, like very revealing, especially for Lebanon. And then I was shocked like when I saw her, like I was like picking her up from her house and like it was shocked her walked down to me. I was like, we're literally gonna stop by our house and like my parents are gonna see her in this outfit for the first time, and I was like freaking out, and I asked her if she could just like go and get a jacket to put it on or something like that, and then she was like really upset about it because like she finally did what I wanted her to do. And
Yes.
then now exactly, so that was extremely horrible. And then I did apologize for that. It was just all of my insecurities, but this tells you how men we think in that sense of like we really crave something in a woman and that's what attracts us about that person. But then at the same time, we're so scared of society and judgment that we just want her as a trophy and not like who we actually like about her. The moment she's, and then here's the thing, what's so crazy is that if she would have stayed dressing up conservative, I don't know if I would have still been attracted to her. Like I still wanted her to be a little bit more revealing because like that's the type that I was attracted to. But it's just crazy. Like this, she would never win. I was so fucked up in my head that I think it was just horrible. It was just horrible.
Why do you think, why, like, you say you were fucked up in your head. What does that mean? Does that mean like you maybe knew you were gay and wanted to come out and like were acting nuts, or like did you not understand how to fit into your society? Like what was happening in your head?
I think I was knowing that I was well, first I'm more bisexual or pansexual. So at that point back then, I knew that I was attracted to both. And it wasn't as much as that, but as much as I think I was like struggling with pleasing others. Like I wanted to be the, you know, the that amazing person that everybody wanted me to be, as in like he's the best at school, he's a doctor, he's the lawyer, he's the whatever society wants you to be, and he has like the best girl that everybody will be proud of. But like, is she the girl that I want to be with? No. But it's like what would make them happy because they think, oh my God, he just got such a sweet, nice little girl, like blah, blah, blah. But like, I was not attracted to that. But the girls that I was attracted to, I would want to change because I still want that, good job, Noel. You got the right girl or something like that. I think I was like I was in a pleasing society, family, parents, whatever it is mode where being challenged between what I really want for my life and what would make me look good for my family.
Do you think that you would have still gone off about that top that you could describe till this day if it wasn't for the fact that you were going to see your family, or you still didn't want any of the society to see her back?
We went up to my
I hope you see
house.
me rolling your eyes at like to see her back. Okay, sorry.
Yes, we went up, we saw my family, whatever. She did put a jacket on. And then after that, we went to the party with my friends, and then we took pictures at the party. She looked extremely attractive. I loved everything about that outfit and about her. Like, she just looked gorgeous that day. Like, everything was like exactly what I wanted. It was just that freak out right before meeting the parents because I was so obsessed of pleasing them. But when it was out in the public, where like it wasn't people that they know me, everybody was like staring at me. I was like, my God, like look at this couple. Like we looked like I mean she's already gorgeous, plus, the outfit and whatever. It was just like an extra thing. And then we posted that picture online. And I remember it was the talk of the town for like a month. I had like family from here contacting like family from Lebanon. I was like, did you see Noel's girlfriend? Like, what is she wearing? And like my mom like it was just we're talking 10 years ago. So I don't know if like the world was different too, and especially for Lebanon, but it was like such a big thing that it was just a top. Like, who cares? But it was shocking,
That poor
to say the
girl.
least. Yeah, I mean, she didn't know any of that part because back then social media wasn't that big. I think it
Okay.
was Facebook. Like I posted it as like a Facebook profile picture at that point, and no
Aw.
one commented on it as a bad thing. It was just like back in my family, I was hearing like bad comments about it. And again, there was nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
She is an amazing human being. She did the right thing. It was my insecurity and just society judgments.
But you know
Period.
what? Like, low key, I don't want to be this person, but I will be. If I'm going to meet your parents, I am going to. If I know the household, right? Like religious, conservative, whatever. And again, just a reminder, your parents are not Muslim, right? Like, we're not. Like, if I'm going to meet your parents, I'm American, Muslim, Christian, whatever, I'm gonna dress up a little bit more conservatively. That's just me. Like, I am not to anybody's parents, no matter the background, gonna wear like a backless shirt to meet
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
parents.
Mm-hmm.
Or not even to meet the parents, just if I know I'm gonna see them that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not like I'm not blaming her for how you were never happy with what she did, like, but at the same time, like the days she chose, I could see how you would have been stressed out if I'm being honest with you. Like she chose the day that would stress you out.
Yeah, I disagree on that. I think she did the right thing. It was all my fault. I don't think she should change what she is wearing to a party because of my family is conservative. Like she should still be who she is. And if that is a problem for my family or for me, then just don't date her. Then date someone else. Because I am the one who's who's been wanting this. And the
Yeah.
day she decided to actually do it as a surprise for me, that's how I would react. I think it's horrible on
But did
my
she
end.
know she was gonna see her parents that day?
I honestly don't really recall. I really, really don't. Like it's over 10 years. I don't remember if like we were just having to stop by or like she really was gonna see I really don't remember.
Okay.
And again, we were like 20, 21, like young. I'm not talking like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what the mentality was or what, but regardless, I still disagree. I still think that even if she's seeing my parents, he should still wear what she's wearing when we're going out because this is who she is. I don't want her to have like a dual identity between because this is it. Like this is what we do. And I'm talking like we're going out to a party. I'm not saying we're going to like a nude beach and I'm telling her wear what you wear on a nude beach in my like, it's just very different. Like if someone is gonna run into both of us at a party and an outdoor event in this outfit, then you should still be able to wear that same outfit when you're meeting my parents at home. Because my parents or someone could be running into us, and that should still be okay. I shouldn't be freaking out at that moment.
Yeah,
That's how
I
I
hear
feel.
you. No, I hear you. And there's a difference between hiding and respect. So for me, I think especially this goes back to like my upbringing and the way that I respect elders, like or the way I was taught to respect elders is like, wear some clothes, wear some more clothes around them and move a certain way and be polite and do the serving and like, just respect overall. So for me, if they saw us out, too bad. They saw us out. This is what I'm like. I don't think we need to feel shame. I don't think we need to hide. But if I know I'm going to their home to meet them, or having dinner with them, I'm going to just wear something a little bit more conservative or parent appropriate or whatever. But I mean, great. Like you're probably every girl's dream or every person's dream, like come as you are. I got your back, ride or die. I don't care who the fuck is on the other side of the die. Right? Like
Uh,
that's
this is
important.
me today, though, not me
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, no. I mean that where you ended up is definitely goals. Like I don't see anything wrong with where you ended up at all. It's definitely something to aspire to. But I know even like if you were my man, I would still when I go see your mom, like I still like I dress up in a way that I feel comfortable sitting in front of your mom and talking. But that's just for my comfort. That's what makes
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But back to that convo. I don't know so now that you know that, what kind of notes would they be like? Because I didn't do anything like sneaky or anything. I think it was just my insecurities about like the life and whatnot. It wasn't like let me go like cheat on you or which I did. I have cheated on one ex before too, but I
Wait, we
did
can
come
talk about
I did
that.
I did come clean. Not no buts, just did come clean. Whatever.
You came clean how, when, like how long after, why? You know this is my trigger. Like
I
I'm like, all right,
think
let's dive in.
well, that's actually a horrible one, and this is one of the only relationship that still weighs on me, if I'm being honest. And I always in my head wonder if like I should just reach out and apologize, but I don't know why I have not done it. I always think about it, and I know like I should.
There's always Judgment Day.
Yeah, I mean, I did come out. Well, I did come clean, but it was kind of after I was caught, kind of coming clean. Like the story wasn't adding up, and she was like, "Hold on, like what?" And then I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, so here's the real like thing." So at that moment, I didn't lie, but then she moved on, like she forgave me, and like that's not why we broke up. It was just there's more to it that I don't need to get to. I mean, not the cheating part. I'm just talking about like the breaking up at the end. It was a long distance relationship and whatnot, so it was kind of there was a little gray area where like I guess in my head at the time I was just like, Yeah, it's nice, but like, is it really the really like it was like I always had doubts and like if this is really the relationship. So I honestly I don't think I was taking it seriously. He was taking it very seriously. And it was me. Like it was all my fault. I own up to it. I know it's just all me. Um, but yeah, not a good history. You're learning a lot about me and my dating life.
I mean, it takes a lot of failures to get to a success. You know, like you are in a successful, knock on wood, beautiful, loving, like honest marriage. And so I think you had to learn I mean, I forgive you. I'm not in a place to forgive you, but like I don't judge you for your past is what I'm saying. Too. Even I have cheating stories. Like I guess maybe that's why I don't judge you. I'm like, oh, I can put myself in the mindset of someone who fucks up. Um, but yeah, and for me, the question sharing notes is more like, little things. I wouldn't think about detrimental life things. I would think like she snores when she sleeps, or and I don't, unless I'm, you know,
That's so much lighter there where I went with.
yeah, yeah. You went like, who do I have to talk to on Judgment Day? Not that
Oh.
that's your belief, but I'm thinking more like just compare notes. Like, when a bunch of people get in a room and they know you intimately, they could talk about anything from, how much hair you have in your genitals to like, oh, he's a cheater, he's a liar, he's not happy with himself, right? Like
Uh,
that it covers the whole span. Or what about the way he compliments his own cooking every time he cooks? Like, just those little things that only people who interact with you intimately can know.
I think being queer, I had a different journey throughout my relationships. I don't know if that is correct for everyone. You tell me how that went for you. But like now I'm thinking about all the relationships that I've been with. I don't think they can compare notes because literally I was dealing with a different psychological issue internally in every single relationship. Like I've learned and then I do better, but then that relationship now something else shows up within me. And then like now I'm dealing with something like they don't just all like compare as like, yeah, he's a cheater, he's a cheater, he's a cheater. Because I didn't cheat until that last girlfriend. Like none of the before that I cheated. But like the first one, I was just like immature, like playing the boys game. Like I just want to be like breaking up. But like the second one, I was so in love with her. And
Mm,
it was just dealing with society and like how society is gonna accept that we are more an open-minded couple in a sense, or like more progressive or whatever you want to call it, that is like maybe not as conservative, I would say.
I do.
Yeah, so it was just like dealing with different
I
psychological
don't think that's a
issues.
queer thing. I think that's a evolving thing,
Mm.
right? Like assuming you're continuing.
But don't you hear usually that one person like he's a cheater and every girl that he dated he cheated on?
Yeah,
Like
somebody could be
it feels like they all have like similar like something that they can track. No?
Yes, I hear what you're saying, but I'm talking about the psychological aspect. Like, I
Mm.
think both can be true. Like, for the person who's a cheater, he's gonna always be, or she's always gonna be a cheater, whatever. And if they are a repeat offender, but they're still also parallel to that, going through psychological changes
Mm.
with each like stage of growth, right? Unless
Mm.
they're stuck in one level, right? Like you go through adolescence, you go through like I don't know, young adulthood, and like these are not just ages, these are states of mind. And so like there's some people who are still stuck in adolescence, like, and that's why they treat their girlfriends like mommies and they like need so much attention and they just don't know how to mature into adulthood, regardless of their age.
Mm.
So they could be a cheater repeatedly or not. Like that's a moral issue as opposed to I guess moral and psychological, 'cause there's a reason people cheat, but it's not attached to evolution. Whereas your shit is attached, I think, attached to just evolution, like your growth.
So what about you?
What? The first question or
If
cheating?
you had, yeah, no, if you had all the exes in one room.
I think first of all, they would say that I'm an angel. I do. Because I've always been on the end of breaking up with someone because I've given them so many chances and they're like saying like, no, please, I can change. And then they always circle back like 6 months later. Like I'm the girl I think that you shouldn't have let go of.
Mm.
and probably like is choosing guys that I know. Now that's my evolution problem. Like choosing guys that I know need growth in certain areas. And so that's my way of escaping working on myself, right? But these guys,
Uh,
and like I have always been the one to dump, and it has far, maybe one outlier out of these could be like, nah, I definitely couldn't wait to be done with her. Um,
uh,
but I've pretty much always broken up on good terms because it's just been like, hey, like you see and I see that we've done everything we can do here. So okay, but with that said, I think they might say that I'm a bit unwilling to see when and how I'm wrong, because I have heard like quite a few of them say similar things. I'm like, ah, shit, that can't be them. That's me then. They're saying the same thing. And it's always like, I can't be wrong 100% of the time, Mel. And I'm always
uh.
like, well, yes, you can. Yes.
You are.
Yeah. Well, today
You
is
are
not the
wrong
day.
right now for thinking that you're not.
Yeah, you're wrong right now. So we'll look at the ratio later. But for right now, you're wrong. So I think that, like, I'm really stubborn about seeing that I'm wrong. So I think they could compare notes about that for sure. It's frustrating. I'm sure it's
Okay. See, I don't have that experience with you because it's not a romantic like relationship, I think. You do admit when you're wrong. You do apologize if you were wrong. You do check in on me, like if you said something like, "Hey, could I have said it?" So maybe in relationship, you have a little bit of a shield.
100%. I was actually gonna say that, but I didn't want to be justifying myself so I could be right again. But I think like once that person hurts me, I
Uh,
don't actually move on from the hurt. Like I say I moved on, but inside that shield went up and it's really not gonna go down until, and this is I think not wrong. Again, justifying myself. Man, I'll put myself on Front Street psychologically. But once that shield is up, if we consistently don't see reason to bring it down, that bitch gonna stay up, right? So like
uh,
if you're still doing the thing that made the shield go up, then it's gonna stay up. And so that goes back to, I love this. I think it's from Monster in Law, that movie with J Lo. It was really funny, and it was about her having a bad relationship with her mother-in-law. But somebody in that movie, I think it's that movie, said it's not you, it's your picker. Like your picker is off. The way you're
uh,
choosing.
uh,
So for those guys, and I'm not talking about the current dude, like that's a whole different level of learning and things and whatever. So this is like pre 2022 relationships. Definitely it was the same repeat problems. And so I was not going to say I'm wrong and I was not going to put the shield down. What I should have done is walk away once I saw that I keep needing my shield. And that's something that I've worked on, worked through, and spent like 3-4 years being single before I tried to do another relationship again. Cause I was like, bitch, something, this man
not working.
needs to go to sleep. Yeah, like this is not fun. This is not fun.
Uh,
So that's what I would say though. But like I do have to figure out how to see maybe when I'm wrong. Like I don't want to escape accountability for the fact that I did hear that from multiple people.
uh,
And again, doesn't mean that they're right. Like if you talk to multiple Zionists, they gonna tell you that, Palestinians are all Hamas, right? Like again, maybe I'm just choosing like certain people from a type of
uh,
person.
uh.
What are your thoughts? Am I in full blown denial?
About yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me because I have not experienced it with you. Like in our relationship, I don't think you
Trust
are
you.
that way.
Yeah.
But if you are saying that, then I believe you. I mean, because you've been getting that feedback. I have a different experience of what I've heard of your relationships that I have a different opinion on, but I don't think it's as much as like admitting right or wrong. It's like I think the criterias of like what you want, and we discussed this like
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
before. You want me to go there?
Yeah, yeah, whatever you need to say, it's fine. I can always hit.
Okay. No, I just think like, I think it's more being clear on like what you really want, and I think you're still trying it out to know what you really want, you know? And then sometimes maybe you might find like that one of the criterias that you want and you hold on to that, but then like everything else is just like not working. And like, what about the rest? And then the relationship starts unraveling, the rest starts showing the other side, and you're like, oh no, that's not what I want. You know what I mean?
I do know
Um,
what you mean, but you know, it's reason I get so conflicted is because on the other side, like you'll have like good folks, like, you know, my sister or another good girlfriend of mine that are like, I don't see what you're talking about. Like, I think you're, you know, that famous, like your standards are too high. Like you're never happy. Like everybody can't be perfect, Amel. And so like on one side, I get the feedback from you and like ChatGPT, right? That's like, you know, this is what's normal, this is what's healthy, this is what's whatever. And then on another side, it's like, well, from what I'm seeing, like you may have room to grow. And as you can see, I'm always trying to figure out where is it that I need to grow. And so things to figure out for sure, period.
I disagree with your sister or your friends that they're saying that your bar is too high or you're being too picky. I think your bar is very reasonable. What you're asking is the minimum that everyone should be asking for. I do think there's a little bit of like this gray area that I have a pinpoint on, which is the provider. That's the part that I am just hung up on, is because you are an independent woman. You can provide for yourself. It's nice if that person can provide as well, but that's why I feel that I finally found a different way to like frame it. And it was in that video that I sent you about I want the man to provide or like to pay for the date. It's not because you are a gentleman, society tells you so, or because religion, imposes it on you. I want it. It's because you live in a world where you can see the reality that we're living in, how it's unfair for the woman, and that's the least you can do to raise that up for her or like bring her to your level. Because it, like we talked last episode, it costs more, to just be a woman living in this world. It costs more for a woman to even just show up to work between makeup, hair, nails, blah blah blah, all the things that man doesn't need to do. And the world is created for men, is not created for women. Like the world that we're living in right now. Yes, the women are fighting and they're getting more opportunities, but in general, it is so much easier for a man to just be in this world. And that is why it's important for you to provide or like take the lead or treat that person just so that you can tell them, you know what, I just appreciate you. I just want to take care of you. The world is not. Maybe I can, do that. And I like that better than like what you usually present in a relationship as like more coming off of a duty or because you're just a good like like a gentleman or like society tells you that's what you should do. It's more
Or Islam.
or religion. Like I would love for you, just I'm just meeting you as a person. How do you think about that? And then based on what you think, either we're a match or not. Like, are you a feminist? That's what a definition of a feminist. A feminist is like someone who just will support women, can identify areas where like women are treated less than, and like I just want to show up and do better for that woman. It's as simple as that.
Also love the way that you phrase feminism here because a lot of memes that go around like in the like women's circuit is like fuck these feminists like that made us go to work and like not like work from home and all this stuff like now you know men don't act like men because women are too busy going to work and doing all the man roles like I'm speaking from tradition and like they blame the feminists. Meanwhile you're like no, if someone's a real feminist he will understand that his lady in a heterosexual relationship, right? Cisgender heterosexual relationship. His lady is going to work. She is getting paid less just for being a woman. And if she bears his child, her career is gonna, as we showed you in the graphs last week, have no room to grow as much as his would. So she's definitely putting more in an investment body and financial by giving you herself, her time, her whatever. And so, yeah, it would be nice. A real feminist man would then provide because
Exactly.
it's already hard out here. Yeah, it's a true partner. I love the way you phrase that actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying that. I'm still gonna say Islam because I like if I'm dealing with a Muslim, like that's the trump card, but that's the defining card. But if it's outside of Islam or whatever, like if I find myself down that road, then I'll use your definition.
Here's an interesting point of view too, that I just thought about that as you were mentioning about women who like say fuck feminism because now it forces me to go to work. It was such a nice time for me before, blah blah blah. One, for you to actually be able to say what you're saying right now, it's because of feminism. Like if we didn't get to where we're at right now, you would not be wearing the jeans that you're wearing. You would not be able to speak to what you're speaking. But aside from that specific
Or have a credit card, or go to work,
exactly,
or like,
exactly.
yeah, or have a voice, or choose your husband, or whatever, whatever, whatever.
So the problem is not feminism. The problem is the economy and the society that we are living in right now, where everything is extremely expensive, that one family is not able to just survive off of one salary. If a man can just do that, and some men can, but it's really rare. Less than maybe 2% of families are able to just live off of one household income. So what I'm trying to say in that, what women say about feminism, I think men deal with it as well. I mean, I can experience it within my relationship because we're two men in this relationship. And I have had so many times where I was like, man, I wish my husband makes like a lot of money where I can just like quit my job and just be like stay home dad with no kids and just do what I like to do. So what women are experiencing, men experience as well. The only difference is that we are not used to man express it. And that's why the suicide rate for men is really high and people just don't talk about it. A lot of men are just depressed because they don't get the support that they want. They don't get the to express what they're going through because they just embodied that role that I'm just a man, I just need to suck it up. And I do see like a road forward for both men and women in relationship, like in a heterosexual relationship, where like if they can both be more honest about it, like let's take an example. You are in a relationship where like you don't need to work and you have a husband that is working and he is a provider, but he is going through something extremely stressful at work or like financially stressful. It is not on him to just like go and figure that out. Like I would love for that to be in a relationship where like he can just come to you and say like, "Hey, I am struggling here. Do I need to take a pay cut? How does that affect our life? What is your decision? Can you go and get a job so that we can support each other?" And most of the time, what we see is that just like, okay, he's just gonna have to go and deal with it, and then the woman just acts like nothing is happening, which
Uh-huh.
in today's life, like that just destroys family because you're
I just
gonna
wanted
start picking up on lies or whatnot. But anyway,
No, no, not anyway. I was adding to your point that I just looked it up. The suicide rate for men is in 2023 was 4 times higher than for women.
yeah,
4 times higher.
yeah.
So it's clearly like we just finished talking about how the world is like harder for women, but then when you look at like suicide rates, it's like men that are taking themselves out. So, you know, what does that mean to like
Mhm.
what is that conflict? Like I don't want to just be like, oh, women are stronger and can survive longer under more
No,
duress.
men suppress their emotions. I literally was just telling you, I have, like, I think I've lived both experiences because before coming out, I was doing the typical men thing that I was doing, like heterosexual men. And now, like, that I am out, I had to make that switch where, like, I'm living for myself. I'm trying to be more authentic, express my emotions. I had to learn what emotions are. Like, I know we talked about it, but like I remember my first couple therapy session, literally the therapist had to print out a paper to me and be like, can you read through those words and point out which one you I could not I would be like, I don't know. I'm like, it's like, what are you feeling? I don't know. Like I don't know. I used to laugh because I was so uncomfortable with like what I'm feeling. Like I would just like laugh in the face of someone. So what I'm saying, a lot of men deal with that, and that's what causes the big suicide rate because eventually they just explode. They just like, what am I gonna do with all those emotions? But we are at a point, it's 2025, where I think women are expecting more of men and men should be able to like let go of this high expectation of them for the other men and like let that woman in and like just trust that she can be there for you emotionally. Unless she's a toxic woman and then she's just like, you're a man, like if you show emotions, I'm not attracted to you, then fuck that woman, send her home and go find you a better woman.
I also feel like there's certain men, well, I don't know if I'm just thinking about one man, but like to your point about partnership, like they're used to the problem being on themselves and don't know how to even see the other person as a partner, even when she's begging, like, let me be your partner. Like it came up in Mo, the episode with his girl, where she told him, like, I want to be your partner. Like, stop doing all these, like, because he would lie to her and do all these
Uh-huh.
and like have just these shenanigans instead of just telling her what the problem is so she can be in on the shenanigan or she can brainstorm with him. And she was like, just let me be your partner. And he just couldn't let, like, he couldn't let him. So, I mean, I don't know what ended up happening. Like, I'm not up to date on the latest episodes, but I remember that one. And like, I had that problem where I'm like, let me be your partner. Like, let me figure this out for you. And I think to your point, like how like you need a feelings wheel to understand what feelings are. It's just an understanding you don't have yet. It's a
Uh-huh.
concept has not been absorbed yet that
Uh-huh.
like you have to do it alone.
Yeah. And I think it's too, it's a little different for women because society is more accepting of women showing emotions. It's kind of a stigma, and like I'll see a lot of women fighting against that. Actually, I don't want to show emotions, like I'm not sensitive or whatever, but it's not as forgiving for men to show emotions. And like the biggest blessing in my life was my queerness identity because I had to come out and accept that I might be losing everyone in my life, and I did. And after that, I was like, okay, now I have disappointed everyone, and like this is the lowest I will get in like the eyes of everyone around me. So who am I now? And like I'm gonna be just authentic. If I need to show emotions for that relationship to work, I'm gonna start looking for what who truly Noel is and blah blah blah, and then move on from there. A lot of straight men don't ever need to deal with that. So you're having society that is like not encouraging showing emotions. It is changing a little bit now, and I'm glad to see it. But mostly there is this, show emotions you're weak or whatever. Them don't have this major event like I did with the coming out that I had to just really like just drop it, get to your lowest, accept that you're gonna lose everyone so that you like have to choose. Do I want to keep hiding and fake my life, or do I just like, you know, come out and be like, this is who I am. I don't like this job. I don't like this girl. This is the type of girl that I like. I'm a Muslim, but I don't like this girl. I'm just gonna marry this girl because she's Christian. Like disappoint your family, disappoint everyone.
No, and I'm glad you went through all
Yeah.
that because when you go back to how I'm able to admit, like, I'm wrong and I'm able to, like, talk about my feelings with you so openly, it's because you went through all that and you came
Mhm.
out on the other side, like, learned from it, of like a good person, a grounded person. You know who you are. And so it's easy now for others to be like themselves around you, like, come as I am kind of thing. And when it goes back to that saying, hurt people, right? But you're like healed people heal people on the
Mhm.
at that. And I feel like you're a healed person that heals people.
Yeah. And one of my big favorite sayings on that is our goal in life is to disappoint as many people as we can so that we never disappoint ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think this is it. Like just who cares? Like I trust I'm a good person. I don't care if you don't like me because I have a husband. It is what it is. Moving on. But I am so much happier today in my life compared to any of like the prior relationship because I was like so battling everything. Like I can just go to my husband and just I literally was having that conversation with my mother-in-law yesterday, and I was like telling her like I struggle with like being authentic, for example, because I am working on like being more authentic, being all like all of me, all of my sides.
Hmm.
But like sometimes like I curse. Like I just curse. And like sometimes when I'm at work, like it's not appropriate to curse. But like in my head, I'm like, but who made this rule? Like I still want to curse if I want to. But like like, blah 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 blah. And then I said to her, I
Why do
said,
you feel like you're
honest.
authentic? It's just the cursing kind of thing? Or
No, I'm
like,
just saying like when you are like sometimes you find yourself in specific situations or around people or in areas where like cursing for me is not wrong, but like I have to like change or act in a certain way or say a certain thing because it's offensive for someone else. So like taking that into consideration. The only time that I actually feel fully authentically myself is with my husband.
I love
He
that.
literally knows like my deepest secrets, and I know his deepest secrets, and then I truly don't have to act or hide anything. Like he has access to my phone, he has access to my laptop, my life, everything.
Ugh.
I like even my person like I can just fully be me around them, and he is literally the only person that I don't like even glitch to think twice about what I need to do.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
That for everyone.
So it's crazy that like that, but that I would like that and like all the other relationships
No, that's
and
rare.
I guess it's hard. Yeah, it's really hard.
I don't know that I've
So
heard anybody that I have seen in a relationship, in a marriage, say to me what you said to me. Like, I'm talking, there's happy marriages. Yes, I'm not saying I don't know any happy marriages, but to say they know all my secrets, I'm only like I'm fully feel authentic in front of them, and like to have, it's not like I just talk to you once a week. Like I have the background and context. I see y'all talk, so like I know you're not, capping. That's beautiful. Mashallah. I know again, you don't believe
yeah,
what I believe, but God bless, no evil eye, like all that. I'm from this side.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just love this relationship. I love him so much. I could just be I could just the whole world ends and it could just be me and him on some island somewhere. Like I think we would just have a lot of fun.
I think
Like
you
he's
would
just my
too.
best friend. He's just like
Yeah.
my best friend.
And
I
he's
just
hilarious. He
love
comes
it.
out with punchlines all the time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I could tell you two have a good time.
Yeah, we do. We do. I genuinely like I love our church. Like I just love hanging out with him. He's truly my best friend. And I'm not saying that to be cheesy, but this is genuinely it wasn't always like that. Like we obviously did 3 years of therapy, but we like right now where we're at, it's just the best. So,
And I love that you
yeah.
bring it back to the therapy because I know, like, even for me, if I'm going through therapy, I'm like, this represents something that's not working. Like, and therapy is
Mm,
gonna make it work. But instead of thinking about it as like this is not working, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to the doctor. Like
mhm.
we're improving. We're whatever. Like just change
Yeah.
the way to look at it.
I mean, I remember after year two, before like we started there, I mean, during first year of therapy, I was literally verbalizing. I was like, do we need to get a divorce? Like it was that level of like we are arguing about a lot of different things that were like, I don't know, I'm like just sick of arguing. It was just exhausting. I was just like, I just don't want to keep arguing. Like, let's just get a divorce and move on with this.
Wow.
But we didn't. So I don't know. I mean, it took a lot of work. It took really, really a lot of work.
And I think it's also the mindset that you guys have that's really hard to actually live out. But it's like this whole concept of like we love we didn't say till death do us part. We said till this shit doesn't work anymore, we will part kind of thing. And so there's this subtext of we're gonna work to make sure that
Uh-huh,
we love each other. Like we're not gonna forget that we're choosing to be here every day kind of thing,
uh-huh.
as opposed to, oh no, like I'm stuck with this person. No, I'm choosing you every fucking day. I think that's
That's actually true.
yeah.
That was in our vows. Like we said, like even if we get 20 years of marriage together, they're gonna be amazing 20 years, and that's great. And then we'll see what the next chapter. And we might be married forever. I really don't know. Like honestly, I don't believe when people say like, "Oh, it's gonna be forever," because you truly no one knows.
Yep.
I mean, I could just wake up next morning and he's like, "I'm loving corporate world and I want to keep doing this," and I'm like, "Fuck this shit. I found that the pleasures in life is just the simple things. I want to move to Hawaii and be a bartender on an island." How are we gonna work that relationship? It's not that I'm a horrible person. It's just in my phase, this is my interest now, and obviously we have different interests. So how do we move from here?
Yeah.
You might have to break up. You have different vision of future life, you know?
Yeah, that reminds me of Four Seasons, kind of how
Yes.
he wanted to divorce and he's like, I love her, but like I want to live my life. And when they found him crying and she was like, but you were crying, you're sad. And he was like, I'm crying because I didn't think I could feel this happy again. And I was like, damn, that's deep, Steve Carell. Okay,
Yeah.
we're at time. So maybe
Yes.
we'll talk about Nine Perfect Strangers next time.
Yes. We need to talk about Nine Perfect Strangers. Keep those thoughts in mind. I don't know if you're gonna keep remembering, but one of my favorite thing I want to talk about is that last scene about the Italian guy. I forgot what his
Mateo.
Matteo. Remind me of that if I forget. I'm gonna add a note on that, but
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need to talk
Mateo's my
about that.
favorite, so you're not gonna forget.
Yep,
Mateo's my
yep.
favorite, absolute favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Did I hit stop? No. Oh, that's gonna be a cute ending for that episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, please consider leaving a comment and a review. It helps us improve and reach more people.
We're all just trying to figure it out one conversation at a time. So go easy on yourself, trust the process, and remember, it's okay, Habibi.